This is Ellie Timbal. My platform is to share instructional tips and inspiration. Welcome for another round of Power Up Your Instruction. For those who are new in this channel, please hit the bell notification to subscribe. Please subscribe for the latest instructional updates in this channel. And thank you in advance. In this video, we will try to respond to the question, as a DepEd teacher, do I need to resign or take a leave of absence to participate in the J1 Exchange Visitor Program or the EVP? This video will help you to best support you through your transition to the EVP program and make a wise decision. A year ago, the Secretary of DepEd has issued DepEd Memorandum No. 12, Series of 2019 to ensure the protection of the welfare of Filipino teachers participating in the United States Exchange Visitor Program or the EVP. The memo has been issued to address the EVP program more so with the collection of exorbitant fees for the J1 visa application and processing, and that most teachers and other workers do not receive regular benefits including repatriation due to J1 visa limitation. Basically, the memo has been issued for the protection of Pinoy teachers participating in the J1 Teacher Exchange Program. How does the memo guide me? So will it guide me whether to decide to resign or file a leave of absence? Yes. According to the memo, DepEd personnel are urged to exercise due diligence in acting upon requests for authority to travel to the United States under the J1 visa, whether for official, personal, or private reasons, to ensure the protection of the welfare of DepEd teachers. Let us now analyze the meaning of the statement to exercise due diligence in acting upon requests for authority to travel to the U.S. under the J1 visa. Well, due diligence means a person from the district office who will act on your request for a leave of absence or resignation will investigate or exercise care whether the EVP a teacher is entering has a reasonable agreement, contract, or business. A legal and financial precaution must be undertaken by the teacher before entering into the program has been considered. So if they will find the program beneficial and protect teachers like you according to the existing rules, then they will approve your request for a leave of absence or resignation. Now, everything will depend on you. Should you resign or file a leave of absence? That is difficult to choose, right? This is a case-to-case basis. Some district offices from the DepEd office will be supportive for your journey as a J1 EVP, and some will implement what is the law governing your participation as a DepEd teacher in the program. If you will resign, be sure you have the J1 visa and you have enough time to complete DepEd clearance. I think you will have only 45-day allowance to process your clearance, so be mindful of your time to process your DepEd clearance and your departure if you have a visa already. Some school districts will require you to be at least in the USA by July 1 or first week of August, so it's a case-to-case basis. They allow this for you to make some preparation for the current school year. A DepEd clearance permit to travel is needed when you exit at the NAIA immigration booth. Without it, they will not allow you to leave the country. Some immigration officers look for it, and some they don't bother to ask for it. If they will ask, only you need to show your travel permit, but in some cases, they don't bother. Also, keep in mind that when requesting for a leave of absence or resignation, Be sure you have no outstanding loans such as the PLIS and the GSIS. So you better settle it or plan for a promissory note that you will pay for it. For those who are filing a resignation, keep in mind the question, when do positions begin and end in the USA? School year dates can vary depending on which school and state you are placed. Typically, the US school year will begin in mid-August and will continue until late May or early June. If you will file for a leave of absence, can I do that? The answer is yes, if you know the law. I have heard that DepEd allows a maximum of 6 months to 1 year for a leave of absence. How true is this? Or is it a case-to-case basis? Please comment below and let's have discussion, okay? According to DO or District Office 1 Series of 1990, when you file a leave of absence to travel abroad, the following may be taken as example of valid reasons for travel abroad: to attend seminars, conferences, and other related activities for professional growth and educational enrichment, for consultation or treatment of ailment or sickness, to accompany a sick or old relative with certification from appropriate authority. So, by analyzing at it and looking at it, it seems that J1 is considered other related activities for professional growth and educational enrichment. And I don't see any grounds why they will refuse your request for a leave of absence or resignation. So you're entitled to take a leave of absence and resign as well. Vacation leave for the purpose of travel abroad with such reason as to visit cousins, for pleasure, as tourists, and so on, are not reasonable if the services of the applicants are needed. The requested leave is too long, and hiring of a substitute will entail additional expenses. The right to travel abroad is respected but should be tempered with one's sense of responsibility to his primary task. By analyzing this, J1 is a form of tourist visa, so some DepEd division might interpret this and will not allow you to file for a leave of absence, and they will advise you to resign right away. DepEd teachers are usually allowed to apply for a leave of absence to study. I guess the EBP or the J1 exchange program fits the category. You are allowed to file for a leave of absence. Now let me read verbatimly what the law is saying about Pinoy teachers who wants to file a leave of absence. And again, this is open for interpretation and it depends largely on the DepEd division person who will approve your request. According to the Republic Act number 4670, also known as the Magna Carta for Public School Teachers, on employment regulations governing resignations or leave of absence. Here is what the law is saying about the Magna Carta for Public School Teachers. Teachers hired to work abroad are usually allowed to apply for study leave of absence for 1 year only and after working 7 years in service. During this period, a teacher is entitled to at least 60% monthly salary. If after 1 year, a teacher decides to pursue working abroad, they have to come back and file for a resignation. If the concerned teacher does not come back after 1 year, then he or she is automatically removed from the service. It's clear, right? A teacher who has less than 15 years of service in the teaching profession may resign and his or her personal contribution to the government insurance system shall be refunded without interest, but he or she will lose his or her security of tenure. Teachers who have been in service for at least 15 years may opt for an early retirement from the service and make use of the early retirement scheme and wait until he or she reaches the age of 60 to avail him or herself for a pension. It makes sense, right? Now, the question is, can I go back to teach in the DepEd after my participation in the exchange visitor program? Well, according to the Magna Carta for public school teachers regulation on re-engagement, it says that public school teachers in the Philippines who wish to come back to teach may retain their position if they are given an approved leave of absence of 1 year. Exceptions may be granted for teachers who need an additional semester to finish a graduate study. So for those DepEd teachers who will resign, keep in mind the question, how long can I stay in the US? Well, the J1 exchange visitor visa issued to each teacher is valid for 3 years. Teachers and school district can renew the contract with mutual consent at the end of the first and second years of employment. At the end of 3 years, teachers are expected to return to their home countries to share their cultural experiences from the US and may apply for additional 2-year extension for a total of 5 years. So, if your long-term goal is to stay for a maximum of 5 years, then resign right away. If you intend only to teach in the US for a year, then file for a leave of absence. Keep in mind that if you have no intention to re-engage yourself or to go back to teach in DepEd, then resign right away. Be sure you have the letter of employment, the DS2019, and the J1 visa stamp on your passport before resigning. If you will file for a leave of absence, be mindful to go back after a year, then file your resignation. Just keep in mind that before filing a leave of absence for 1 year, some sponsoring agencies are actually asking you to sign for a 3-year contract with them, like EPI, Faces, Global, so you are bound to them. In this case, there's no need to file for a leave of absence with a DepEd. Just resign right away to avoid the hassle. So better ask your sponsoring agency, are you going to sign a 3-year contract or yearly contract with a sponsoring agency? If you are with a third party, a recruitment agency, you will have no problem as they will renew every year your visa with a sponsoring agency partner. I am requesting everybody to write a comment below and share your J1 exchange program experiences about filing a resignation or leaving the Department of Education Philippines. So don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button on this channel, Power Up Your Instruction. Thank you and see you for another round of Power Up Your Instruction. Please hit the bell notification for more updates, okay? Bye and thank you.